You know, Denver hasn't won a playoff series since 1994, 15 years in counting. Chauncey Billups, he was a kid back in Denver at the time. Now trying to lead his team to a 5-game series win over the Hornets. Chris Anderson, energy guy off the bench. The Birdman flying. Going to get Chris Paul from behind.
Tremendous recovery by Chris Anderson. Really, he was at the top of the key when Chris Paul was at the dotted line.
Anderson on the alley-oop from Kenyon Martin. They bring in that second unit with Carter and Anderson and Jalen. They really get moving.
Yes, they ignite that home crowd. Chris Anderson running the floor, J.R. Smith knocking down threes, and before you know it, this team starts to explode on you.
How about Nene blowing past Sean Marks there? Keep an eye on Carter. Sneaky. Steals the inbounds while Nene's running the other way. Billups drops the three-pointer. Byron Scott had that look on his face a lot in this series. The Nuggets up by 4. Paul finally gets something going. 12 points, 10 assists for him. The Hornets up 45-44, and after the 58-point blowout, they came with a reasonable effort in the first half, but the second half, Denver pulls away. Chauncey knocks down the 3. The Nuggets by 3. Billups working the screen, drops another triple. He was 3 of 6 from out there. The lead expanding. J.R. Smith, range all day. Where can he hit from?
And the Denver Nuggets have as many offensive weapons as any team in the NBA. And when they're knocking down shots, it's a joy to watch.
He was 5 of 8 from the great beyond. Melo gets it going. He hit 13 of his 25 shots.
He was so great tonight and so efficient because it's very decisive when he caught the basketball with where he wanted to go with it. Didn't hold it, wasn't stopping the basketball, just quick and decisive and put up big numbers.
And Smith from the logo, from half court, from, the tunnel on the other end of the floor. Nuggets win. Their 13th straight home win clinches the series 4-1. They won it by an average of 24 per game. That includes the loss. Of course, you have a 58-point win factored in there as well. A career playoff high from Carmelo Anthony. 34, and the longest playoff series win drought in the league is over.
Feels good, man. We worked so hard this season in the offseason to get to this point. We still got a lot of business to take care of, but we're going to soak this one in and celebrate this one.
You talk about the work. A lot of it was on the defensive end, right?
Yeah. In the second half of the season, we turned our defense up. We made a commitment to buckle down on defense, and we did that this season.
I'm just proud of my guys. I mean, it's been a year that's had a lot of different spirit to it. The Chauncey trade, everybody thought we were awful. We turned into a defensive team, and we see some people really play well. I think we're a damn good basketball team, and as a coach, the only thing you can be is proud and thankful.
And Carmelo Anthony is on to the second round after 6 years and 28 playoff games. He's got himself a series win on the resume. Melo had been third on the active list for most career playoff games without a series win. A couple of Rockets ahead of him, Tracy McGrady and Shane Battier. George Karl mentioned the defense for Denver. They were 14th in field goal percentage in the regular season a season ago. They moved that figure up to 4th. It showed in this series in particular with what they did with Chris Paul. What ultimately won it for them?
You got to find a way to keep Chris Paul out of the paint, obviously, and contain he and David West, because the Hornets team didn't have a lot of weapons that were very productive. Peja Stojakovic wasn't shooting at a high percentage. Tyson Chandler was in and out of the series with injuries, and their bench was basically non-existent. The Denver Nuggets have multiple players led by Carmelo Anthony tonight that can really explode for over 20 points on any given night. And tonight it was all about Melo. Seizing the moment and the stage, understanding that, yes, I haven't had a career game in this series, but now it's time for my team to advance. I'm going to make sure I do all that I can. He was efficient with the basketball, knocking down three-point shots. He had 4 steals, and basically it was his stage to take the Nuggets to the next level.
Well, he was tremendous offensively. We talked about the Nuggets defense the entire series, but New Orleans contributed with their ineptitude on the offensive end of the floor. You knew they were going to come out with a better effort after losing by 58 at home, and they did for the most part, but this game really got away from them with unforced errors in the third quarter. This is just a horrible entry pass into the post. That's lazy, sloppy. James Posey later in that quarter just gives it up unforced, and Denver Nuggets are out running again, and Sean Marks finally gets an easy shot inside. blows a layup. So that right there was the stretch of the game when the Denver Nuggets really blew it open. End of the third quarter, on into the fourth. They continued to roll. And the Denver Nuggets just thoroughly outplayed New Orleans in every aspect of the game. Defensively, offensively, more energy, more guys contributed. George Karl did a great job coaching this team. And when he said he thinks he's got a heck of a basketball team, he's right, because they have peaked at the right time. And you better take this team seriously, because they can score with anybody, and now they've got a leader at the point.
Their performance has finally matched the parts on the roster. At least that's the way it appears so far for this first round. They get the Mavericks next.